intro thing. All right, I'm gonna get my phone out. Ryan, thank you for having me.
Oh, dude.
Seriously, this is the second time I've been in his house, so I feel honored to be here again. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna read off a couple questions that people have commented and concerning the song, just to give a little like insight on the process and kind of like where you're coming from as a writer and a storyteller. So I'm gonna jump right into it.
Tyler, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you, and thank you for the coffee. All right, here we go. So, as I always like, cliches are cliches for a reason, but I think this is probably like the main thing I think people would like to know. What inspired this song for you?
Well, sometimes it's music. You Tyler, as a songwriter, will know. Sometimes you write something, a piece of music, and you want to put lyrics to it, or sometimes it's lyrics and you want to put music to it.
Mm-hmm.
So this was music, and first. And I originally had this really cheesy DX7 sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming back someday, by the way.
That's right. Yeah.
But I wrote that first, and then the lyrics followed. And Your Visions Still Haunt Me was how I started the song. But that's because I still dream about my dad often, and sometimes it's different scenarios or whatever. But he passed in 2012, so it's been a while. And I'm healed. I feel fine. I'm not super sad about that. I have 3 beautiful kids. I have a wife and a family, and many ways, you feel you've healed from an experience like losing your parent. And then a song like this comes out, and then you dream them, and then you're like, maybe I haven't.
Yeah, it's like
maybe
subconsciously,
yeah, you're still healing or you're still processing, and maybe that goes on for the rest of your life. Things will never be the same as the lyric says. So Visions Still Haunt Me, the first lyric came from that, and it was originally it wasn't supposed to be necessarily a song to my dad. It was originally, I was writing it from a love perspective of a spouse losing another spouse, or a boyfriend losing a girlfriend, just a loss. Exactly, a loss. I thought about relationship first, and then I thought about just losing anybody. Losing a pet. Losing anything that you love. And so I took different ideas and lyrics from that, and there's a line that says, you always said I'm the strongest one. If I'm so strong, why can't I let you go? And that came from my mom. She'd always say that my dad would tell her that you're the strongest one I know, and she is. She's a 3-time cancer survivor. And she's still here and just full of joy, a huge inspiration. Love you, Mom.
So primarily your father was the muse basically behind this.
Yeah, absolutely. He was the muse, and then lyrics came from different places, I guess, in my heart.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the lyrics right now. I'm trying to, because there's a couple that I wanted to ask you specifically. Because that's what this is. This is the behind the behind.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay, here we go. Just a second. So I personally, and you can share this, or you can be like X-nay, but I'd like to know the behind the. I still feel your heartbeat. Thought I saw you sitting in your chair. When I looked, there was no one there. Is that
literal thing, or is that like, are you figuratively speaking, or was that a moment?
Now that is a reference to my dad. I remember putting my head on his chest and listening to his heartbeat, and I think we all do that to people we love. Children with their parents. I thought I saw you sitting on a chair. This is a funny story. I was lying down. It was bedtime, and it was just like 2 weeks ago, and I told my wife, "Did you see that?" Because we have a chair in the corner of our room, and I was trying to write a verse too.
Yeah.
And she said,
"Oh,
what?
you were writing when this happened."
Well, I was thinking of a verse 2. I said I have to come up with a verse 2, or I was thinking of ideas for it. And then I said, I thought, when you're looking somewhere and you think you see somebody in the corner of your eye. Well, I thought I saw somebody. I thought I saw someone or something sit down in the chair, and the room was dark, but whatever. So I thought,
And she kind of got freaked out. She's like, "Don't be saying
Don't
that.
do that.
Right before bed. I don't want to hear
Yep.
any of that." You're like, "Nah, I don't want to hear any of that." So,
But
I said,
it was in your peripheral. You felt like there was.
I felt like there was a presence, sitting in the corner of a chair. I don't know. You know,
Dude, I love that, bro.
so
love
I
that.
thought, well, I'm gonna take that. That's perfect. There you go. You know, things like that happen and they inspire you, whether it's in your imagination or not. And speaking of imagination, I was inspired. You know, musical inspirations for this song. You talked about inspirations where I've there's an old 80s movie called Labyrinth, and David Bowie wrote a song for it, and I've just kind of really been into that song, and so I was thinking of that song, Fields of Gold, I believe, by Sting.
Yeah. That's
When
a
I was
vibe.
writing that, vibey, I love that. And yeah, just a couple of those come to mind right now as musical inspirations, just kind of vibes that I was kind of going for.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
And before we even get into, because I have questions when it comes to like, and for people that are into like sound engineering, want to know behind like the production. Before we jump into that, I wanted to ask you, how long did it like take was this just a natural, when it comes to writing musically, was this a natural thing, or did it take, you know, was it a thing you came up with a couple months ago, you sat on it for a while, and then like you wrote the rest of the music, or was it just something you sat down and it was just like fluid?
It was quick. I mean, if it's an idea and I sit on it, then it's never, it's never coming to fruition. Like I feel like I have to have some discipline. Like that night when I was lying down, I said, I need to come up with a verse too. I need to get on, you know, I need to get this done, because it'll just stay a verse and a chorus, and then it'll go in the closet like all the other songs, you know? So some I feel strongly about, like I need to finish this. So, how long did it take?
Yeah.
It really quick, Tyler, you know, like,
quick.
as far as the songwriting goes, as far as the music goes, it's very simple, guys. It's like a 4-chord progression. The hardest movement musically is what's going on the left hand on my piano, but it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. And so I thought, you know, why complicate things? Why try to make something harder than it needs to be?
Seriously.
Why add like a flat 7? I mean, those things are nice, but if a song is, the most important thing was the message, and I felt the music supported that, and it was good. It was good enough.
It's funny
to
how
support
like
that.
it's funny how you can spend, and I'm as a writer too, I'm sure you would connect. You can spend, there are some songs that you spend almost a year on, just kind of sitting and fine tuning, and like you release them and they, you know, they get slept on. And then there's things that, you know, it's like a flop, you know, and then there are things that like come like that and they just connect, man. And I think what you did so well, and I have to say this because it is a hard thing to express something very personal. There's a sweet spot when it comes to being in vagueness, like, and I think you nailed it. It's just enough personal, but not too personal to where I can't listen to it and relate to it. And I think those are like the golden eggs in songs, and I think you definitely nailed that for this one, man.
Thank you, man. I'm always the cheese factor is always looming.
Let's go. Hey, you can't get enough cheese, man.
Yeah. I always feel like, especially for a heavy song like this, and like I'll never let you go, and you know, I
love
miss
that,
you,
man.
and all these things. But it is what it is. I write how I write.
Yeah.
And it's me, an artist out there. Just do you know, do you. And be inspired by other great artists, absolutely. But at the end of the day, you know, do you. And this is me. And I've tried really hard to be other artists because I love them so much. But I'm not them. You know? I'm Ryan, you know, and to being comfortable in your own skin is part of maturity as an artist.
Dude, I admire that, because even for me, I'm easily inspired as well. Like, it's hard. I almost involuntarily inherit things from artists that I like.
Yeah.
And so I struggle with that as well. And I think Ryan FaceTimed me last night after his music video premiere, and I told him, I was like, look, man, I think people are subconsciously craving, it's like they don't know it, but they're craving authenticity right now, especially in like pop culture. And I think this is one of those songs where, you know, you aligned with that perfectly. And it's something that I think, like I said, people, they don't know they want to hear it, but it's like when they hear it, they're like, dude, that's what's missing. Like, that's what I need, you know? Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna ask this one real quick. What is your expectation for the song?
I mean, I think just that, you know, perhaps people would connect, you know, with it. I mean, or not, or just appreciate it on a musical level, I'd be honored just to connect in any way. You know, sometimes art is created to connect. Sometimes it's not created. Sometimes it's just created for the artist. This was I didn't know I needed, like I said in the beginning, I didn't know I needed to heal. But even listening back and what Tyler did with the video, I needed to see that. Even in a subconscious level, I needed to heal. I still need to heal from loss. And you know, I think whether I battle with anxiety or even now as I'm talking, you know, I feel nervous. I'm talking to people and talking to Tyler, and I do feel nervous now, even speaking publicly. I really don't like to be on stage. I'm not crazy about being in front of the camera, and I just like to address those things because maybe this song is therapy for me. Maybe some of those. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe stems from something deeper, maybe some kind of loss. And I think a big part of healing is mourning. And maybe this is mourning, you know. And so as far as connection goes, maybe we need to cry sometimes, you know, maybe I feel kind of good after I cry. I feel kind of good after I let things off of my shoulders. Yeah, after exactly, Tyler, release. What a beautiful word, release. And surrender, right?
Yeah, it's necessary, man.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, for the nerds out there, the producers and the people that, you know,
my people.
Yeah, right. We're gonna dive deep because it's a simple song, but to a degree, there's a lot of you know, hidden gems in there.
Oh, thank you.
So
man.
let's kind of go into that. Are you using Pro Tools?
Pro Tools. I've kind of been on Pro Tools since the beginning, since I started. So that's why I'm comfortable at. But I love Ableton. I love Logic. I think they're all really good now.
Yeah. Okay, so you're familiar with all of those DAWs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember you mentioned earlier before, what came first? Was it the piano?
Yeah, it was the piano. It was the piano riff. And I have video of me taking it. You know, I always record ideas on a phone, like I'm sure you do too, Tyler. I'm sure like we all do. And so I hung on to that, and then I just kind of built off that. And it was just really, I laid down the piano as a skeleton, and then I kind of just built from there. Next came strings. I thought, well, if it's going to be piano and not the DX7, I think strings, nothing pulls on the heartstrings like strings.
Let's go. Come on, bro. That's a plug.
And piano
right there.
Piano and strings is kind of a, you know, it's proven.
Yeah.
And for the emotion of this song, I thought it would be perfect. And so you know, cello was an obvious, beautiful, low bass for it. And there's for chorus, there's some horns for the strings. I'm using Native Instruments Symphony series, which I love.
Prime.
And it's, you know, it's a little bit of an investment to get into, but once you're there, it serves you, you know, and you have beautiful strings to go on with your productions. I will say though, I've gone crazy purchasing stuff, you know, plugins, subscriptions. I've purchased outboard gear, and artists really like Tyler, who are cutting edge, who have huge followings, are making amazing music with a laptop and an interface.
Yeah, for real.
And then I thought, you know, why I love outboard gear. I love gear. I love that. But why not take advantage of the technology that's available to these days? So a big part of my rig, everybody has great rigs. A big part of my rig is Universal Audio stuff and their interfaces, and I come in vocals through that. So they're not paying me. Shout out to Universal Audio.
That's right. Yeah. Can we get a sponsorship, please?
No, I paid for everything. But yeah, those I like to share that. You know, Waves. I love Wave stuff.
Yeah.
For some tools, and as far as instruments goes, what else we have?
I heard some good. There's some electric guitar.
Oh yeah, electric guitar. I did use my dad's. He has an Epiphone Casino, like a mid-70s Epiphone Casino, hollow body.
Yeah.
And so I did that straight into the interface, and I put a Waves GTR guitar modeler on that just for some kind of.
So that was direct.
That was direct. Yeah. I didn't amp anything, mic any amps. I was kind of going for that Cigarettes After. I love their electric guitars.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Oh, so good, and just
crispy,
so vibey, beautiful, and just so dreamy. And it was the context I wanted these lyrics to sit on was dreamy and just beautiful again. and so yeah, I thought, well, have some pretty. I don't think I nailed it. It was a harder sound to achieve than I thought. You think, oh, just throw some reverb on electric. Maybe that's what they do, but I had to dial it in, and I was like, oh well, this achieves the purpose I needed to achieve. So
it did it. What's next? Like, are you feeling like you want to? Are you going to start putting out a single every month? Are you just going about it like what I feel happens when it happens type deal?
I mean, I feel there is this unsaid, like, I guess, not pressure, but I think for artists, if we haven't created something, and it's especially in our blood, I'm always going to sit down, at least once a day and play the piano. Yeah, play the piano. But producing Tyler, and Tyler produces an unbelievable amount of content. I really benefit from artists like Tyler who are always producing content. It really keeps me motivated. You're a motivation for this song.
Thank you.
To inspire me to create. Because really my bent is just to create this, and I do create content more. I have been creating content more the past couple of years, and I'm still getting comfortable, and I'm later in this game. I've been making music for a while now, and even now I don't know, like I sang that, I don't like how I looked. I don't like, so even now, I struggle with insecurity as an artist, but the expectation is, I found out when I have insecurities and I'm thinking about myself, that's really a selfish stance I take as an artist, because I've been given humbly, thank you God for a gift to make music. Yeah, and it's selfish of me just to keep it. I was given a gift to give it. That's why you're given gifts, right? Yeah, ultimately, is to give them away. So it's I have motivation. I have inspiration, surrounding myself with other artists to keep creating. So, and it is good to set goals. Like this year, I want to create 2 more songs.
Yeah, I love that.
No, not create anything. I'm not gonna go. I can't create like Tyler,
bro.
who's pumping them out. But if I can get 2 more decent songs, then I'm happy.
To be honest, that's me. That's me falling to, like, I don't know how to say, like, societal norms. I'm a firm believer on quality over quantity. So like I'm doing that because, like right now I can do that. I don't have, a family that I have to, provide for. I don't have a lot of responsibilities per se. So I feel like I can pump content out, but if it was up to me, I'd be so much happier with 3 solid songs than like 50 songs or like 3 albums in a year, So I think the route you're going is perfect, man. And again, too, quality is subjective. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler's content is a lot, and it is all excellent. And that's what I mean. If I can create excellent Tyler, content like Tyler, as far as quality and quantity, I'm happy. So I'm just gonna keep pushing, man. I'm gonna keep bugging you. One thing I do a lot too is when I surround myself with people better than I am at things. So if I see somebody like Tyler, I'm like, hey, can you help me? And I'm just learning. I've had like, hey man, what are you using? What do you do? And I've done that my whole career. With buddies of mine,
dude. What are you using? That's so smart.
What interface is there, or what preamp are you using? And I've done that in the music, and lately I'm kind of into cameras, and I'm like, so I've asked Tyler, hey man, what lens are you? Well, what are you doing? And I've just grown. Yeah, I've grown by doing that. So
I admire that too, man. Because a lot of people they won't. What will keep them from asking is pride, man, and ego, and I think the fact that you can just set that all aside, and first of all, you have the curiosity, and second, you don't care to ask. Some people won't even ask when even the person they're asking would easily give them every information they have. They just won't ask because they're like, well, I don't want them to think this, or like, I don't want them to judge me on this, or I don't want them to know. I don't want them to think that I'm I care about that. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's cool.
Oh man, anytime.
So you grow exponentially, like super fast.
You grow, and even if even if you have to pay for it.
Yeah,
Even
for
if
real.
you have to pay for knowledge. Hey, Tyler, I'll give you $100 if you let me hang out with you for a day.
Yeah.
I mean, have that kind of respect for what you love.
Yeah. Yeah.
You respect you have enough respect for what you love. You're willing to invest in it, and it's gonna serve you. You know, it's gonna serve you in the long run. You're just gonna grow, and 9 times out of 10, people are gonna be super gracious like Tyler and say, "Yeah, man, absolutely. Here's what I use. Here's what I do."
Yeah.
And I'm happy to share it. I love sharing what I do.
Same, yeah.
I'm excited when somebody wants to know hey, what'd you use for this? Oh, thank you for asking. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go, you know? So it's exciting to share as an artist. 'Cause, you know, what people are using.
Well, dude, I think you made something gorgeous. I think it's one of a kind, and I hope it resonates with people. I'm sure it will, and it already has. I pray that it goes a higher level than you even thought it would, and I guarantee it will, man. I think you're always quick to give the glory where it's deserved, and that's like what is it at Fiesta Texas, the fast pass? God just gives you the fast pass when you're like
Cut to the front of the line.
Yeah, when you pay homage, you know. So I love getting a chance to work with you. I've known you for years. I've led worship with you.
That's another crazy story.
Yeah, and it's just nice to we've led worship together, which is a form of, you know, creating, but we've never been able to, like, you know, get in the dirt per se and like really buckle down and make something from scratch. And I think that was I'll never forget that. That was fun.
Oh man, me neither. And hopefully many more. I just can't say enough. This song was special. But I feel the work that Tyler did. When I saw it, he sent me the video, the finished product. Mm-hmm. And I called him back. I FaceTimed him crying like a baby. Yeah. And I was like, I was a mess. And you said something funny. I forgot.
Bro, I told you, I was like, when I was editing, I'm like, I couldn't see because my eyes were like half the process of editing was so like emotionally, you know, draining because it was just like, oh my gosh, bro.
No, I called Tyler. I was just finished saying, like, I called Tyler and what he did visually with this song, really. And that's what you do. Tyler's a perfect example, guys. Artists, if somebody pays you to enhance their art, producers, directors, mix engineers, whatever, our goal is to ultimately enhance the message of what it is. Mm-hmm. And elevate. Tyler's a perfect example. You know, I came to him with a song, with a vision, and he took it to another level. And man, thank you, because this experience wouldn't be what it is without the work that you did, man.
Yeah, God's good, dude. God's good. Look, if you're watching on Facebook, subscribe to this man's channel on YouTube. Thanks, we're definitely gonna make some more things.
Yes,
I already know. When I come back down to San Antonio, we'll get into it again.
Hey guys, and I can't stress enough to please check out my brother Saint Finnegan.
Yes, thank you.
And his content is incredible. It's inspiring me, inspiring tons of other people. He's getting amazing feedback on his channel as well. So follow him as well, because not only is his music good, but his message is good, and it's very inspiring. Thank you for inspiring me, Tyler, for this project. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you, man.